Hi there, welcome to episode 17 of The Green Room. My name is Nick, and today, once again, I'm joined by James. Hello, James.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good. Good week?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Bit of travel.
Really?
Now back.
Where have you been this week?
Been to Europe, been to Poland, actually, in fact.
Okay.
Seeing a few places there, and you know what? I was very surprised. So on the travels there, I saw lots of wind turbines, which is not a surprising thing because it's quite common these days. Mm-hmm. But the surprising thing was the turbines were actually spinning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, at least they are somewhere.
Yes.
They do here as well. I think you're being rude about that. I think they do spin here.
Yeah, well, it's just because you've been quite rude about it.
No, I'm all right about wind turbines. Wind turbines I'm less excited about government, but more excited. Wind turbines I'm happy with. Strong week. I had my first bout of hay fever.
Yeah,
which is
under control.
Under control, but always a bit depressing. But it's a weird one because you get in, your eyes are streaming and stuff. But at the same time, it means it's decent weather. So I'm kind of like I'm okay with it.
You're right with it. Yeah.
What have we got today?
So today.
No, hold on. Before.
Oh, how do we? Yeah, but actually, you can reel this off. So how can people out there listen to us, watch us, play back recordings? How do we do it?
So they're called podcasts. No, so we have this community that is growing very nicely, and we're getting a few positive comments here and there. So if you would like to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube. You just search for The Green Age on YouTube and you'll find us. If you'd like to subscribe to our podcast, there are a few ways to do it. So you can listen to Apple Podcasts. If you don't have an Apple phone, you can't. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Stitcher. And you can listen to us on TuneIn Radio. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are other mechanisms. Podbean. Your favourite, when you listen to us back on the drive home and things, you tend to go to our own website, don't you, to listen to
I would never surf the website on a drive back home.
But to subscribe. Sorry, no, you wouldn't be on your phone while you're driving.
Exactly. So what I would do is I have it on the car entertainment system already, pre-downloaded, and I just whack it on and just play, and it gets me through. It gets me through M25 and all those.
You just like listening to your own voice.
Yourself too, and Harry,
Oh, that's good. Voice for radio.
Hello.
Right.
Hi, Harry.
Hi, Harry. We got a comment. What was it? Because it wasn't Harry. Someone said you should definitely get
Charlie
on camera.
Yeah.
We don't have a Charlie. We have a Harry, and she doesn't want to be on camera.
Charlie and get them on camera.
So I don't know why she doesn't want to be on camera, but she doesn't. So unfortunately, you're stuck with us.
Those pretty faces. Can't compete.
What have we got today?
So energy saving ideas for the summer.
And with the theme of keeping cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got some kind of relatively normal ones.
It's keeping cool, but also saving money, obviously, where you can.
Yeah. So we've got relatively normal ones to start with, and then they just become a bit weird.
Yes.
Is that fair?
So did
you write some of these?
So if you've read like The Railway Children and things like that, it might.
If you've got to get your imagination cap on.
Yeah.
And then so we're going to go through all these little things, and then there's a bit of news, I guess we've got. Is there anything big going on in the news at the moment?
There's something I just sent to Harry the other day about gas supplies kind of failing. So there's a kind of like a record amount of people being cut off at weird times.
So Cadent Gas, who basically control a large portion of the gas distribution network, they had a whole bunch of people in mostly North London going a significant amount of time without gas. I think the average was 19 days, but that hides a lot of. A few people went like 24 hours, and a few people went 5 months without gas. So they had to pay out an extraordinary amount of money, 44 million, I believe, to compensate those people.
Blimey. I mean, but the bigger news, I guess. And this may not come to light. I mean, it may not happen, but we're recording this on sort of the day of the European elections.
Right.
And our dear Prime Minister might not be in her seat tomorrow. Well, she may be. She may not.
We don't know, yeah.
Crazy times.
Funny times, yeah.
Anyway, there we go. Right, without further ado, staying cool in the summer.
Right, so I think the most obvious thing is turning off the heating in the summery months. So you were saying to me from about the end of March, but in my household it's more like around this time of the year. So it gets to the end of April. So we still kind of like it a little bit, just take the edge off in the mornings and the evenings.
Yeah, my wife, when she's in control of the heating, it sort of would stand all year round, I think.
And that's bizarrely, that's what most couples tend to argue about, is how do they, what temperature they put the thermostat on.
Yeah, we don't really. She just likes it being warm.
She likes a bit warm,
okay, so obviously we'll save a bit of cash. Turn off the heating. Gas usage drops right down.
Yeah, then hopefully as well. So you might also be using less hot water. So you might want to play around with the timer on your immersion tank, or
and you can turn down the output temperature of your shower.
Yes.
Because you don't normally in the summer, if it's like 30 degrees or 25 degrees outside, you don't need your shower really, really hot, so you can turn the temperature down. Which is worth doing, because then obviously you don't have to heat the water up to that high.
Yep.
So that's worth doing. Older boilers will have a pilot light that keeps going all year round, all the time. So you can obviously turn this off, because it's just burning gas basically. So it's on. So you can turn that one off, and that tends to be on really old boilers. But do remember, I mean, I've done this before, but thinking, let's save energy here, turn my boiler off, and then was shocked to discover I had no hot water.
Yeah.
So make sure you still got hot water, obviously, and if you do need heating, keep your heating on.
Yes.
But using a thermostat to set it, so if your house if you set the thermostat to say 20 degrees, then your house should never really get warmer than that. So in the day, naturally, it might be that temperature now. But at night, it might need a little bit of top-up temperature just to get you there. But that's quite a good way to save energy.
And I suppose then the thing that kind of leads onto it as well is, so if you needed to do some servicing now, I guess, on the boiler and stuff, so you need to do your annual safety check, or...
Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, because...
gas
people are not that busy.
They're not that busy. It's cheaper.
Yeah, and you can get the appointment that you more likely can get
rather than that sort of 1st October day when everyone puts their heat on.
We can only come in on a Sunday 8 p.m. type thing. So
Okay, so first one, really turn off heating, sort of regulate the temperature in your home a little bit better, and that hopefully will save a bit of gas. Next one.
So next one, it's all about swapping lights to LED. I know we talked about it before, but actually it's still key here as well. So particularly, if you had the halogens and the incandescent bulbs, which I don't think you've could have got, for a number of years anyway. But still, it's the electricity. Halogen cans, yeah.
Halogen, actually, there was an EU directive to stop them being made, so they're now just selling off the stocks of what they have, but they're not allowed to make any more in the UK or in the EU, I think.
But I imagine people are stockpiled. It's the kind of thing you'd have loads in your cupboard, because they sort of blow at annoying times. But the incandescents, right, and the halogens, they're basically for every... It sort of goes, the saying is, if it's producing 90% heat, you're producing 10% light.
Yeah. With an
LED, you're producing sort of 90% light and 10% heat. So it makes, number one, big energy savings, but number two, you can, it just keeps your home a bit cooler, to be honest. And you were saying, that you're quite tall.
Yes, yeah. So I always used to.
Taller, but...
So I always used to find, so on the low ceilings where you had the old traditional bulbs, they just always used to feel a bit hot, and it's quite uncomfortable in summer months, particularly on the, say, July and August when it was extremely hot outside. So I always used to try and minimise the amount of light.
Standing in the lights. Sorry.
It's very hot,
No, so... do get up. Good. Okay. Right.
Oh, and then important to say, so... and then, once you replace them, and actually costs have significantly gone down. So if you find them from a specialist online store or your good hardware store, the LEDs, you're less likely to replace them at the intervals that used to replace your halogens, your incandescent bulbs. So actually,
and there are some companies as well that will offer warranties on the bulbs. So there's what's the one online that we used to speak to quite a lot? LED Hut. They will offer a 5-year. I may get myself in trouble here because they may not anymore. But they used to offer a guarantee on a light bulb. And if it blew, you could send the light bulb back, and they'd send you a replacement.
Well, they used to publish the hours or effective use or something like that. We'll guarantee it for like 5 or 10,000 hours.
And I'm sure they're never quite that high.
Yeah.
But still, it's a massive improvement on kind of the.
Well, then if you're a business as well, so just keeping on to the lighting theme, just because you're using the lights pretty much all year round on a consistent basis. So in our offices, doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, the lights are on.
Yeah.
So it's worth going through that kind of replacement project, going for an LED standard, because then you're saving the energy all year round.
Well, and Alan, so one of our colleagues, London EPC, who carry out the EPCs, he was saying that the impact of the swapping to LED on commercial is enormous in terms of your energy rating.
Yeah.
So definitely worth swapping, but can be expensive to do, but worth it in terms of energy savings over the longer term.
Yep.
Right, next one. So we used to have one growing up, but when you have a boiler with a hot water tank and it's sat in a cupboard, like an airing cupboard,
yes,
and they get really, really warm.
Yes.
Right, and that's kind of why you use it as an airing cupboard, dry out all the sheets and stuff. Well, obviously, if that is a well-insulated tank,
yeah.
So if that hot water tank has got a jacket on it or whatever, less of that heat escapes. We were staying somewhere a few weeks ago, and to get to our room, we had to go past this kind of the it was like a hotel type thing, and it was a big it was a laundry room, and they
must have been extremely.
Oh my god, it was hot. It was and it was like hot outside as well. So this thing was just ridiculous. But it just shows. But even on a smaller scale in your own home, if you get a hot water jacket and you put it round, it'll obviously stop that heat escaping your tank, so you save money. But also that heat escaping obviously won't warm your house because it wouldn't be no longer escaping. If that makes sense. That was a bit of a tongue twister, but. So worth doing that. Next one. So dryers, right? Loads of people have dryers and they swear by them. The clothes dryers I'm talking about here, they get hot. They use tons of energy, and if you look outside today, it's like 20 degrees, 25 degrees. Hang out your clothing.
So in my house we've got a canopy, so all year round. We just use it outside.
Even when it's like freezing, you just have to shake your t-shirt because it's frozen solid. No, I think it's a really, really good idea.
I mean the dryers are just absolutely energy guzzling. So if you can try and avoid them, I mean sometimes unavoidable.
Vampires. What were they? What was that phrase that the government came up with? It was something like a energy.
Leeches.
No, it was some vampire expression. Can't remember what it was. I mean, it may have just been energy vampires, but basically just sucking energy out. Okay. And the dryers are really, really bad for that. Okay. So if you can use other means, do it outside, little washing line.
Can we talk about people's solar panels?
Far away.
Tell me. I was just going to say, obviously in the winter, what you try and do is generally the electricity is produced during the day when it's sunny. When it's not sunny, it's not being produced. So you want to be using the energy produced during the day. So actually, running appliances and bits and pieces like that. Where there's an excess of energy, normally you'd store it into your hot water tank.
Yeah, if you have a solar diverter.
But maybe this time, the idea to do here is you probably want to fire that excess onto an external plug or something like that, where you can hook up to a fan.
Yeah, just keep everything cool, keep drafts going. And that leads on to the next one with so you were saying about increasing ventilation, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to get this draft through the house all the time, keep the air moving, stop anything getting too warm, essentially.
So yeah, I'd just kind of open all the windows, unblock my chimney, so I've got a chimney sheep.
Okay.
So I just go.
So it's just a draft excluder.
Yes.
Up your chimney.
So normally in the winter I just shove it up the chimney to stop the drafts. Now I just go. It's got a handle.
Yeah.
Bring it down, store it away because come back in late September, October when it gets cold again. But take it away, and then you get the natural drafts coming through the chimney as well as the windows, and just kind of ventilates and keeps the relevant rooms.
Yeah. Now, I think one of the big reasons that houses get warm at this time of year, so as we enter the summer months, is solar gain. So I think a kind of one of the big ways to stop it, and you see this quite a lot, is people using curtains and stuff, and they're basically trying to stop solar gain from taking place. I have seen you can get a foil that you can put on the window surface.
Interesting.
And it's almost like a pair of sunglasses for your house. And it stops the particular wavelength getting through and heating the house.
Yeah.
So there's kind of different ways to do it, but obviously the cheapest and easiest way, or it's probably, I don't know how cheap it is to buy a pair of curtains, but to get these kind of blinds up to try and stop some of the light coming in and getting.
Well, I have, so the back of my house, my bedroom is on the southerly facing wall, so in the summer it gets quite a decent whack of solar gain. So I try and just put the blinds in.
And it works? Keeps it cooler?
Yeah, it does, yeah. But it's I think because I don't have much wall insulation, so unfortunately it gets collected within all the other fabrics, and necessarily the windows.
Okay.
And then just takes forever in a day for the rooms to actually cool.
Okay.
So it just takes me absolute age to get to sleep, particularly like those really hot July
summers. Yeah, fair enough. But I think everyone struggles when it's that hot.
Yeah.
So
if you can do external wall insulation.
So that was going to lead on to that. If you could do 2 energy-saving things in the summer as temporary measures, so we're not talking about going to burn your house forever, what would you do?
Temporary?
Well, no, I'm just thinking, like, because obviously we always talk about, like, putting solar panels on your roof, and they're on there for the winter where they do nothing.
I would do loft insulation, actually.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah, loft insulation is not bad, but why?
Just because, so if you've ever, so in the winter it's like the opposite. So when you go and bring down your Christmas decorations, it tends to be freezing up there, just because you've got the heating.
Kind of goes
but in
through.
the summer it's the opposite. It's just absolutely scorching. So imagine all of that kind of latent heat coming through your ceiling and then warming your bedrooms and your house up. So what you want to do is you want to get a fabric insulant that would normally the fiberglass that we always like to kind of talk about. Put that at just above the ceiling level, and then what that will do is that will stop the heat coming down the other way. So that will hopefully keep top of your ceilings and on your upper rooms nice and cool.
So earlier we were talking about solar panels and we were talking about turning your boiler off. My sister had solar panels put on her roof, and we got the very kind folk at Apollo Gem to give her a product. So they're a solar diverter.
Yeah.
And she installed that, and it meant that between the months of April and September, they could literally turn off their heat pump they had. Just turn off the heat pump completely. And their solar diverter would divert all the electricity to their... I knew you were saying to divert it to a cooler.
Yes.
But they diverted it to their immersion.
Yes.
They didn't have to pay for any hot water at all for those months, which is quite cool. It's quite clever. Like, it does... A lot of this stuff, we talk about it, but it actually really does work. But I would go for... I like solar thermal.
Right.
I think solar thermal is a cool technology because it doesn't take up very much space. I think we talked about it previously, but you need to do it kind of when you're doing a house retrofit. It's not like right now my house is finished, I'd sort of shove one of these things on the top of my roof. I'd do it as a kind of, if I'm replacing the roof at any point and I'm replacing hot water tanks and stuff. You've got a smile on your face.
Can I tell you a funny?
You can tell me a funny.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny. So solar thermal is the same principle, and I sort of remember this in the olden days. Not the olden days, but when I was really young. So you can get one of those rubber black barrels. So one really hot sunny day, so you just fill it up with cold water, and then by the afternoon it gets really warm.
Okay.
So you can just jump in.
What would you do with that? You just jump in
and
just party, frolic in your newly hot water.
Yeah. So it's the same principle as solar thermal. So
it is. Yeah.
It's, the sun gets it hot, the water gets hot, and then it's usable for your for your showers and for your hot water.
So I interrupted. What would your second technology that you do? Ignore my temporary comment. That was stupid. What would your... So you've done your loft insulation.
External or cavity wall insulation, depends upon which type of wall.
So you're really hitting the fabric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because think about the walls for a second. They make the largest surface area of a house.
Okay.
And conversely, the winter, the walls emit the most energy out. So if you can then stop the solar gains the other way, then obviously you keep your fabric nice and cool, and then you won't have problems like I do.
Massive
on a July.
overheating.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Right now we're going to talk about some stupid ways
The funnies.
that have been suggested to us to keep cool in the summer. Right, so this is.
So if you're alive during the Victorian times, or
so this
which
is a good
I
one.
don't think anyone would be alive watching this.
Hang
podcast.
a wet sheet in front of an open window will chill the airflow coming in from the outside, and it means you can at the same time you're not using your dryer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my doors and windows. I'm going to put a ginormous wet sheet there, and this cold draft's just going to travel through that, and I'm going to really benefit. I for one, I get it because you hang your clothes outside.
Yep.
But the thought of hanging it directly in front of an open window to achieve this seems ridiculous to me. But it would be interesting to get your thoughts, especially you.
What do you think the neighbours would say?
I think it's a great idea.
Do you?
Cool down that breeze coming in.
Okay.
Dry your sheets.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any comments from you on that one?
No, it's just the neighbours might find you a bit
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
If it keeps you cool in the summer, then
very important. Works. It
Go
works,
for it.
and that's why
Go
we're
for
here,
it.
right? Next.
hot water bottles turning into cold water bottles. So essentially, yeah, you'd get the water there just before it freezes, put it into your hot cold water bottle.
Or could you just fill the cold water bottle and put it in the fridge or freezer?
Yeah, but
Because then you wouldn't have to do the transfer of liquids.
Yeah, but I always thought, doesn't the whole contraptment, doesn't it stop the kind of the differentials, or slows down the differentials in the temperatures between?
Yeah, we'll just leave it in for longer. No, I don't know. I like yours. I prefer yours. Cool water.
You'd use
down,
less energy.
Pour it in.
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, you like that one?
I like that one a lot.
Don't know who wrote these. Don't know who wrote these.
Do that.
Okay, this is.
I want you to. I want you to read the next one.
Right. Instead of traditional ice packs, okay, so we'll use those in the past. Put some washing up liquid in a watertight bag and put in the freezer. The soap won't freeze. It will create a malleable cold compress that you slip under your pillow or apply to your body. So I remember those little blue squidgy things, right, that you used to put when you sort of hurt your knee or whatever. I have never heard anyone do this. But you know what? I might try it.
You need to get to it with the Pinterest generation.
I am going to try this because I'm surprised it doesn't freeze. Have you done this?
No.
Okay, have you done this?
Not yet.
I need to try it. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm definitely going to do the cold sheet over the window.
Okay, but you could maybe at the same time as doing that, you could do this one. Putting a bowl of ice in front of a fan will make the whole thing more efficient. It won't make it more efficient, just make it cooler.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Make you cooler more efficiently.
Yes. Honestly, some of these.
Well,
Right.
we can test that one in the office.
I think the next one's the next one's less kind of weird. So basically closing the curtains and blinds at night. So then obviously the sunlight. So if you're
That's just a solar game one.
yeah, so that's not too bad.
That's very sensible. Okay, here this. No, I mean this is very sensible. These are good bits of advice. The washing up liquid I'm less sure about. This is the time of year when some of the best fruit and veg are available at the best price. Take advantage of it by creating no-cook meals.
Yeah, you don't want to be set over a hot hob.
No, agreed. I think that's
Every summer,
So what's
my
seasonal right
grandmother
now?
makes me do marmalade
right.
of boiling hot sugar over the stove. And let me tell you, that's not what you want to be doing.
No,
in the summer.
agreed. I just want to be sort of chewing
Fruit
on
salad.
raw broccoli instead. That'd be
So
awesome.
that's seasonal, isn't it? Spring onion seasonal. What else?
Yeah,
So in terms of fruit, strawberries,
all these things. Yeah, no,
raspberries.
absolutely.
blueberries,
Yeah.
lots of things to get your teeth into.
Okay, this is one for you because I can imagine this happens.
So heat rises, and normally if you sleep in the attic room, which you tend to use as a guest room or storeroom, it's time to move towards the ground. And shout out if anyone's got a basement out there, because it's the perfect time to reside in the basement at this time of year.
This just sounds very much like
because all our serial killers.
Yeah, because exactly. Just explain the basement thing, or explain the basement thing, because it's majority or most of it or some of it submerged within the ground, and normally within the ground, as we were talking about ground source heat pumps the other day, the heat or the temperature tends to be more stable. Whereas outside, you're going to have, say,
big fluctuations,
25, 30 degrees potentially. At ground level, you won't. So actually, it will stay nice, kind of latent, cool temperature.
And next to all those dead bodies and stuff that you're staying down there with. That's awesome. So move to the basement. That's a good one. Number 10.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy you reading this one.
That's fine. Don't sleep naked. You'll get clammy and uncomfortable. Lightweight, loose-weight cottons instead. That's what you should be wearing. Your PJs. I don't really have an insight on that.
Oh, I really thought you were going to launch into an anecdote.
No, I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you launch into an anecdote.
I'm good.
Okay, Nick, have you got any anecdotes about sleeping naked?
No comment.
Okay. Right. Oh, I love this. If you don't have time for a cold shower before bed, just dunk your feet in a basin of cold water. That'll cool your whole body down. Where does these come from? Are these people send these in? Oh God, people send these in. Thank you. Keep sending this stuff.
Brilliant. And also, if you've got other ones you can mention, if we say don't mention it, but when this goes live on YouTube or so forth,
do mention them, because this is So can I just say what's happened, right? So right now the amount of people listening to this thing is going up like a little exponentially, right? So we've got our little community now listening to us. They're going to listen to this and think, ooh, maybe I'm not sure. But it's normally, I feel like it's a bit more sensible. I think it's really useful advice. But dunking your feet in a basin of cold water before bed, how does that get your whole body cool?
Feet technology.
Have you got names of the people?
Is it because in the winter? So I always think kind of the opposite. So in the winter, if my feet are really cold, I just feel really uncomfortable. But I suppose if your feet were cool in the summer when it's really hot, you'd feel the opposite.
See, Nick understands feet science.
You and feet science. Of course you do. Of course he's a physicist. Right.
So I'm not quite sure about the next one, about the laundry thing. So it says, hottest, I get that, hottest between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. But it says get the laundry out before the heat sets in. So what, to get the laundry out before 10? Oh, so you maximise the
drying time.
Okay, fine.
And then this one, which I can get on board with. This one I think is the winner. Ice cream, frozen margaritas.
High five for that.
Yeah, no, take that. I think that's one that everyone get on board with.
That's what we're having at the office tomorrow, right?
Yeah, big time. I'm on holiday tomorrow, so I might be.
Then we definitely are.
My little dog, he's not little anymore. He used to be that little. We make these little ice creams that he bloody loves. It's awesome. Very, very cute. And in the summer months, nothing better than a cool ice lolly or ice cream and a frozen margarita.
I was just going to say, so going back to a few things we might have missed on the more conventional thing. So, and you're quite hot on this. So, in the winter, when the walls are wet, they are less energy efficient than a dry wall.
They are
because
the movement heat is quicker.
Yeah. So obviously, if you've got like say cracks and impediments on your, so say you do what you want to do in the summer is you've now got the time to
spray the water.
No, not just spray the water, but fix any cracks or leaks and things like that to stop the water.
So my thoughts on this are any jobs that in the winter are really, really popular. Yeah. So like putting loft insulation in, doing all these other jobs. They're super popular to do in the winter because obviously everyone's colder at that stage, so you want them.
So you're very reactive.
You're very reactive. If you do these jobs now, you're being proactive, and so of course the guys doing the jobs are potentially going to be less busy, right? So definitely boiler engineers, heating engineers are going to be less busy now. So now is the time to put in your heating control system, loft insulation. Put it in now. Because on the 1st of October, every Tom, Dick and Harry will be putting loft insulation in.
Yeah.
So it'll be cheaper to do all these things now. So now is the time. Now is the time when we can save a bit of dollar.
So water butts. Let's not forget about water butts. So we might by say roll forward 2 or 3 months, we might be in a water shortage.
So I
Season.
I have a little shed at the end of my garden, and I put a piece of guttering on and put a downpipe. I was very proud of myself and had a water butt, right, and it filled up, and I was really excited about this. And then the other day I filled up my watering can for my veg patch, and at the same time I turned it on, I just went back inside to go and get something. And you're going to know this, but I'm relatively forgetful. I forgot to turn it off, so I came back and the whole thing, all the water had gone out my water butt. And I was just like, oh my god!
Can you imagine?
How annoying is that?
If you have to water your lawn or something, or your vegetable patch, and they've got a water shortage and you can't use your hose, you'd be. I don't know.
It'd be awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be bad. It'd be bad. But I think surely, no. I mean, have we ever had?
We're in the southeast. There's always water shortages.
Well, that's because the water companies don't fix the leaks.
There's that as well, but it tends to be southeast tends to get statistically the lowest amount of water compared to the rest of the country. I just remember all of my geography.
Geography. Is there anything you don't know, Nicholas?
Lots of things. Lots of important things.
Okay, so that kind of covers our ways to keep cool in the summer and hopefully save energy. So some stupid ideas like the sheet one. So find out whoever that was who sent that in. We can name and shame them. But most of them relatively sensible. So thank you for everyone who sent stuff in. And I apologise that we haven't given you the kind
I suppose one we haven't sort of if you've got what are they called beach umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put loads of them up in your garden.
How many do you have?
I don't know. You might have one of those big garden umbrellas. Yeah, just to stay in the shade. Stay cool.
Yeah,
stay cool.
I'm really glad you've added that. I feel like that was a lot of valuable input. Okay, so let's go on.
Stay safe. Stay cool. Stay cool. Stay safe.
Jesus.
And stay safe.
Right, let's go on to news.
Yep. So we talked about Caden. Yeah.
Plastic straws, cotton buds, and drink stirrers to be banned in England.
And where's that source? So source from The Guardian this time.
So the government have confirmed this is going to happen from April next year. I had, and I don't know how to admit this, so when I was growing up, McDonald's were like, we went there kind of once a year. And now, occasionally I go to McDonald's. And went there the other day, got my
Harry used to go to McDonald's. It was a regular thing.
But they had a paper straw in,
or
sort of cardboardy straw, which I kind of really applaud.
Mm.
But they're not as good as plastic straws.
Yeah, you should get the bamboo straws or metal straws so you could just carry one around.
Yeah, okay.
I've got the bamboo ones and they're really cute.
Are they?
Yeah.
But the kind of papery one, it doesn't fall apart, but it's not the same. It's not as clean.
Turns to mulch.
Yeah, it does. Do you remember those lollipops that used to have paper sticks? They were just. But I actually think it's a really good idea. I think after a very, very short period of time, everyone will be used to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a video of they went down to the bottom of the sea in some part of the world, and it was it was super, super deep, and they found plastic residue, and I just thought, Jesus, what are we doing? How disappointing is that? How embarrassed were you of the human sort of population that this is existing in these kind of places? Like, honestly, what are we doing? So stuff like that we need to change.
So that's that one. The other one I sort of shared with Harry, but worth a mention. Boring one, but very relevant. So energy prices this year pushing up inflation. So one of the key drivers in the April statistics was just higher energy bills, basically. So not good for our pockets, really. No,
but that's why we're all about energy saving.
Yep.
Trying to save people money. Trying to give useful information, of which some of this podcast has been useful. I hope. I did just going really quickly back to that because you finished and stole my piece there. Every year we use 5 billion plastic straws, 300 million plastic stirrers, and 2 billion cotton buds. Plenty.
Yeah.
Our plastics episode was episode 8. If people want to go back and listen,
We're going to revisit it
Very
though. I think we need to talk about it some more because I think it's big. Like obviously it's big, but we need to sort of start giving some things that people can do. I know we gave a bit of advice last time, but we can definitely continue that. Have we got any other energy saving news?
I think that's it. I was just clutching at straws. No.
Literally.
there have been some changes to the renewable heat incentive, but they're covered on our website, so you can go there if you'd like to find out more about that.
And if you want to find out any energy saving news, the latest energy saving news, do go to the Green Age because there's a whole load of information, videos, energy saving guides, all sorts of bits that can definitely help in and around the home. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter if you're interested in getting updates to your inbox. So that's really it, I think, for what episode are we on?
17.
So thank you for everyone who sent through their kind of energy saving or energy cooling tips. And next time we need sort of information from our audience, we will put the shout out a little bit earlier, and so we can get rid of some of the more weird ones.
or keep them.
Or keep them.
Brilliant.
Or keep them.
And listen, yeah, if you've got any comments, definitely comment on the YouTube posting itself. Yeah, because we'd like to hear them, and then maybe we can summarize them all in an article or something. So just keep the comments coming.
Cool. Well, that's it from me. Nick,
I think
Harry,
for me, yeah, very good.
Thank you very much.